Hey guys, I'm going to be reviewing the 2022 Mazda 3 Carbon Edition in sedan. It's a beautiful car that I purchased it. I don't work for a dealership, so everything you hear from me is how I really feel about it with no bullshit. I'll tell you what I like, what I don't like about it, what other cars I compared it to, and I'll give you some finance tips because some of these guys are fucking thieves, man. Straight up. So here we go. Let's just show you the car so you can have an idea. I'm not gonna take it off on the road. I did by the WeatherTech floor mats you need to have. Here's the front. Here's the back. So guys, when I was thinking about buying this car, I had a 2016 Mazda 3, which it ran pretty good. It wasn't as fancy as this one. It wasn't as pretty as this one. It was the entry level. But I liked it. It had a couple of issues here and there, but overall, I love the way it drove. So when I bought this car, I compared three vehicles: Mazda 3, Corolla, and Honda Civic. Now, the Honda Civic was out of competition right away because in order for me to get the same or close to the same horsepower and torque as this one, I had to get a turbo. And according to my friends who are mechanics and other people on the internet, they said turbos, eventually they're gonna give you problems. And I don't wanna deal with that because I wanna keep this car for at least 10 years, 15 if I can. The Corolla, I went to a dealership, I test drove it. It just wasn't for me. It looked too cheap. It didn't feel like a brand new car you can show off, you know. It didn't have the torque. I think it was 150 some pounds of torque and 169 horses. It was slow. It drove not to my satisfaction, and it was noisy. It wasn't a good experience. And Mazdas are known to have a good driving experience. So I went and test drove this car, the Mazda 3. Unfortunately, it didn't have a sedan. They had a hatchback, and I loved the way it drove. I mean, you're only driving it for like, what, 10, 15 minutes? You're not going to get the full experience, and you're not going to get the likes and dislikes unless you buy the damn car. Sorry. But I did my research, and one thing I learned, just don't go by the internet what people say. You have to test drive the car because you might not just like the feel of it. It might be like a Toyota reliable car. It's good. It'll last forever. But if you're not happy the way it drives, you just wasted your time buying a car that's going to keep you unhappy. Okay. That's the car that I chose. The Mazda 3. Now, that was the first part of my journey. The second part of my journey is trying to buy the car from a dealership. And you guys know these fucking dealerships are just relentless. And they'll get you as much as I can. So the first dealership I went in there, I test drove a hatchback. They didn't have this car. They said if I wanted this Mazda sedan, I would have to pay $2,000 over MSRP, which is a bunch of crap, dude. They're already making money on the MSRP. So you really can't negotiate. And they wanted like an extra $5,000. That other car was like 28. They wanted like 35 something. I'm saying, no. So I said, I'll order it. So when I said, I'll order it, they still wanted $2,000. I said, no. All of a sudden they said, okay, we'll take it off. Okay, I said, okay, how much are you gonna give me for my trade-in? My trade-in's worth about $16,000. They want to give me $15,500, and they said, okay, we'll give you like 16, but you have to sign this blank sheet of paper. I said, I'm not gonna sign anything unless you give me numbers on what other add-ons and the final price of the car. So when they brought the numbers, they had raised the price of the vehicle over $2,000 anyway, and they had all these add-ons. I said, well, if I'm buying this car from the dealership, from the manufacturer ordering it, why the heck would I want to pay add-ons? So you don't have to add anything. So I said, I walked out of the dealership very unhappy. That was in Oakland, Illinois. I went to Countryside, Illinois, and where I had originally bought the other car. And there they told me that they were honest, kind of honest. They gave me the paper, which the other dealership didn't want to give me the paper on the numbers. They gave me a paper and said, look, this is what the add-ons are. You're going to pay $27,400 for this vehicle. And the taxes, whatever. And in Cook County, it's 8.25, which is, we call it Kirk County. And So agreed. The only thing that we needed to do was trade in, and of course, that's where they try to get me. The trade in was $11,000. I said no. I walked out. A week later, they called me and they said 12,000. So we negotiated to 14,000. The following Saturday, I was gonna go order this car, but then I just happened to go to another dealership, and they said, "Let's go for a drive." I said, "Okay," another hatchback, and to my to my surprise, they had this vehicle right here. So okay, so I said, "Nah, I'm probably gonna get it because they're gonna try to jack up the price again because according to them is adjustments, you know." We have to adjust the price because there's not enough cars, blah, 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 all bullshit, right? So we came, they brought out the numbers. They wanted, of course, an extra 2,000, 3,000 over the sticker price. I said no. And they wanted to give me 11,000, 12,000 for the Mazda 3 2016. So after negotiating back and forth, I brought down to 14,000, but then they still want to give me like 3,000 over MSRP. We brought that down to like 200 over, and they want to charge me an extra $2,500, some bullshit about some disinfectant that they use inside for micro something, can't even pronounce it, and some paint for this for the outside, just all bullshit add-ons. I said no, so I finally negotiated down to $200. I could have walked out and went to the dealership, but since they had the car here, I don't want to wait 2 months, so I kind of got screwed off out of $600 so far. So my first mistake is that I started signing papers before I went into the finance office. I should have just went over there, but these guys were slick by giving me a thermos, giving me a hat. They distracted me from what I was doing. I was happy to get this car, and I lost focus. I really lost focus. When I went in there, I had noticed that the car was 27,400, but when I looked at the final papers, it was like 27,800. So they screwed me on $400 right there. They changed it. So first tip, never sign any papers before you go into the finance office so you could look at the numbers are. Then if you're satisfied, sign all the other papers that you have to sign. Okay. And then when I went in there, we did the numbers. I had a calculator for a car calculator which says trade-in value, because when you trade in the car, you get a credit if your car's worth $30,000 that you're buying. An example, and you trade in a car that's worth 15, you're only paying taxes on $15,000. That's why I want to trade in the car, to get the tax credit instead of selling the street. I would make money. Plus, I wouldn't lose as much money. Plus, if I traded in the car, Mazda had an option, or what do you call it? They had incentive where they would give you $500 for being a loyal customer. So it was in my advantage. But here's where I noticed something went wrong. Okay, I was supposed to finance like 15 something, right? I did the numbers. Okay, that's going to cost me at 2.2%, blah, blah, plus whatever they charge for the financing. My payment should be around 265, 270 tops. The guy said your payment's going to be 304, and it's going to be financed at 3.9%. And I'm like, wow, okay. I can't be it. Numbers don't lie, right? But he said, you know what? I got a great deal for you. If you're a Costco or Sam's Club customer, and then you qualify for 2.9%, and your payment's only going to go up $4, your payment's going to be 308. I'm like, well, it sounds like a good deal. But then I said to myself, how much is the extended warranty you're trying to sell me? It's only going up $4. 2,100. I'm like, well, if at 3.9, at 2.9, 3,100, the numbers don't add up. Of course they don't add up, because before he sold me in retrospect, before he sold me this extended warranty, he already had it calculated into the numbers, you know? So please, take your calculator and double check all the numbers. If you have to get the sheet that they make you sign on side, where you agreed on what the car's worth, look at it. And take a picture or ask for it and go to, this is what we agreed, this is what we agreed, this is what we agreed. Because what this guy did, real slick, he added on the cost of the extended warranty before I even said yes. because there's no freaking way if I'm paying $15,000 for the car, and then you add $2,500, that my payment's gonna go up $4. Just doesn't make sense. But what he did, he added it on and he convinced me. But you know what? He should have been honest, because these cars have a lot of electronic stuff. I was gonna get an extended warranty anyway, because my brother has a Grand Cherokee. Right after the bumper to bumper warranty ran out, something went wrong in his cluster. And guess what happened? He had to pay $2,500 out of pocket. So I said, you know what? This warranty is good for like 8 years, $2,100. You know, I would have bought it anyway. So, but it still pisses me off that these freaking guys are like that. You know, they try to take advantage. After me and my wife discussed everything what happened, we realized they tried to get us on an extra $7,000. If we would have been stupid, we would have paid like $4,000 over sticker and a couple other thousand for all these extras that we don't need. Low jack this and that, this special paint protector, this disinfectant, you know, they'll get you. But at the end of the day, I had a choice. I could have walked to the other dealership and bought the car for $27,400 with destination charge and no add-ons and my taxes, and got $14,000. But guess what? For $600 extra, I got to take the car home. It's just the way the market is right now. And I was going to buy the extended warranty anyway, you know, because you never know what could happen. A car messes up. Your regular mechanics is not going to be able to fix all this electronics. And if you could tell, the car is beautiful. I mean, I love it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let me tell you what the thing I like about it. It's 186 pounds torque. When you take off this baby, it takes off. Besides being beautiful, it takes off. Besides looking inside and looking at these beautiful heated seats, it also has blind side monitoring. It also, when you turn the reverse on this side, this goes down. This goes down. When you turn the other side, that goes down. The rear that goes down. And the car is very fast for that little torque, 186. So I would say you don't need the turbo. Plus, for me, this car looks better. That's what I like about it. The color, the red leather seats, the way it takes off. You know, oh, by the way, they don't tell you this, but actually, if you download the app, you could turn on your car from anywhere. It doesn't have an alarm or anything, a remote start, but you could turn it on from your phone, so that's kind of like a remote start right there. And that's what I love about it. Now, the things that I hate about it, now that I had it for, I put like 500 miles on it, the ride is kind of rough. Maybe because these 18-inch tires, low-profile tires, it feels rougher. It's not as smooth as my 2022 Hyundai Tucson. But it's still a ride, you know, and if you go on a highway, after about 70 miles an hour, you hear a little bit of a noise, right? That's another thing that I don't like about it. And another thing that I don't like about it is the seats. They're heated and everything, but god damn, they're not as comfortable as I thought. They're not as comfortable as the Tucsons. I know you're comparing apples to oranges, but it's not. And another thing that it's kind of hard. My other car had all these knobs and the screen and everything, and I got used to it. So it takes a while to get used to it. It took me like half an hour to try to figure out how to put the right time in there. That's one of the things I didn't like about it. So that I didn't like that. I didn't like the heated seats. I didn't like the way it was like the rough, but you know. But besides that, I can't complain. I just get all these compliments from everybody that they love it. I mean, it's got LED lights in the front, the black rims. I don't have to pay for those rims. The color, it's an awesome car. I don't regret buying it. I just have the little bitter taste in my mouth that these guys got me for extra $600 and I couldn't just deal under MSRP. But you know, sometimes if you want the car bad enough, you're gonna have to take the deal. It's not gonna go your way all the time. But guys, I would buy this. I would highly recommend this car. I recommend it. I mean, yeah, the seat's a little comfortable. I'm getting more used to it. Yeah, the ride's kind of bouncy. It's not as smooth as even my other 2016. But you know, I don't know much about mechanical issues. I haven't even opened the hood, dude. What am I gonna do? I just know it goes fast. And I know it's a pretty car. All right, guys. That is my review. Hope you guys liked it.